everywhere that you go, all around the world. Join us now and have yourself a very merry Cheetah-licious Christmas. We just wanna wish you a Cheetah-licious Christmas now.
Hello and welcome back to Bookmark Chronicles, and welcome to day 10 of Vlogmas. So, around this time, work is like both winding down but also a little crazy. It's like all of those end of the year things that need to happen. My students are in finals, but I'm also prepping for next term, plus there are like events that I want to attend. So I'm going to a few other events this week that I will show you in the next couple of days that I'm really excited about, but it's just an exhausting time of year, and I'm like ready for the students to get off campus, and I'm ready to be off of work. So like technically I think we're supposed to work until the 24th, and then we'll probably be gifted the 23rd off. So I just took off the entire week. So I'm off from the 19th until we return on January 2nd. The students don't come back till January 9th, but I am really looking forward to this break. Like, I need it. Today's tea is Fireside Mocha, and it includes cocoa beans, apple, sugar sprinkles, chocolate chips, and pink peppers. I am concerned. I'm just gonna go ahead and say right now that I don't think I'm going to like this. Chocolate tea is already an interesting concept, but the fact that there's chocolate and apple, I don't have high hopes. I think Fireside Mocha is a good name for it because that is what it smells like. Like, it kind of smells like firewood and chocolate. Many of you have expressed that chocolate tea is appalling to you all, so we'll see how this one goes. No. Anywho, chocolate looks like another milk chocolate something. This is the pecan caramel duet. So it is shaped like that last one that we have with caramel in it, so I might want to let this one sit for a bit. Yeah, no. Today's book recommendation is a young adult sci-fi, one that I read this year, and mind you, again, I do not read a ton of sci-fi. I don't have a physical copy for this, but I enjoyed this book so much more than I expected to, and that is Survive the Dome by Kosoko Jackson. So, if you're around at the beginning of the year, you'll know that my first attempt at a read in 2022 was I'm So Not Over You by Kosoko Jackson, and it is a romance. I hated that book so much that I DNF'd it at 5%. And then Robin read it and also didn't like it, knowing that I DNF'd it, but then told me like what happens at the end, and I'm glad that I DNF'd when I did because it absolutely was not worth it. But there were a few authors that I have tried that I wanted to give a second chance to, and I do have an entire video on that, so I will have that linked in the cards and the description. But Kosoko Jackson was one of those. So I was looking at his Goodreads profile and I saw Survive the Dome. If I'm not mistaken, that also came out pretty recently, and I don't have much experience with authors who like write in various genres. The only other one that I can think of is Alyssa Cole. She is primarily a romance author, but then she also wrote When No One Is Watching, which is a thriller, horror, whatever. But I was curious and I really wanted to try this book out, so I did, and 5-star read. I was so shocked by that, but I absolutely love this book and I would definitely recommend it. However, it is a book that deals with police brutality, so if that's something that you don't want to read about, I totally understand. Proceed with caution. In this book, we are following a young black man who lives in Baltimore. He is on his way to a protest because another unarmed black man has been killed by police officers. So he gets down to the protest. His mother really didn't want him to go. She was really nervous about it, but she let him go. He is a journalist, and so he wants to go and take pictures and write about his experience. Almost immediately after he gets down there, there is this voice, almost as if it's speaking through a loudspeaker. Think like the Hunger Games, right? So all of a sudden there's this voice saying, you have this amount of time to get home, good luck. He meets this other guy and they're running, trying to get home, trying to make it to a safe space. They don't make it in time, and then all of a sudden Baltimore is enclosed by a dome. The dome comes up, technology shuts down, They can't communicate with anybody outside of the dome, and no one outside of Baltimore knows that this is happening. So it is a tale of survival at this point. I highly recommend this book. I really enjoyed it. Kasoka Jackson did a really great job talking about police brutality, activism, journalism, and corruption, essentially, corrupt governments, and it was very well done. So if you are a sci-fi fan, I would definitely recommend that you pick this one up. Like I said, 5 stars, and it will be on my best of 2022. All right, going back to our chocolate. This is similar to the other one where the caramel isn't my favorite, and then it has like a pecan nougat type thing, which I don't dislike, but again, not my favorite. So we are 8 for 10 on chocolate and 5 for 10 on tea. Because this wasn't good today. Today wasn't the day. But let me know if you've read Survive the Dome or if it's on your TBR. Otherwise, that is all I have for you today, and I will see you tomorrow for day 11.